Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we're going to work in the cottage garden. I am going to put in a ton of gorgeous perennials that are going to give me interest and help support my pollinators and my butterflies throughout the entire growing season. So I am planning for 2026. Yes, I feel like I am cheating on the current garden, thinking about next year's garden. But I tell you, I was really super inspired. Some of you may know that. So last week, Jerry and I went to the to Jackson, Wyoming. So it was a belated anniversary trip, right, for celebrating our 25 years of marriage. And so we went to Jackson, Mississippi? Jackson, Wyoming, to go to see the Grand Tetons. And we had the most lovely, wonderful time. The hotel that we stayed at had the best landscaping I have ever seen in my life in a public space, like at a hotel, a resort. I mean, really anything. Whoever designed this garden absolutely knocked it out of the ballpark. It was 100% perennials. They really leaned in to like their native grasses, what works for them, because I mean, hello, they're like a zone 4, right? But that does not mean they didn't have color, and it was stunning. I just cannot tell you how gorgeous this was. And so I was thinking, okay, I love this. I can't replicate the exact same thing because I don't live in Jackson, Wyoming. I live in Dallas, North Carolina, completely different growing zone. They're a 4A, 4B. I'm an 8A, right? So I take the look and I make it work for my garden. So that's what I'm trying to do today. So I have got a beautiful selection of perennials, and then I've got some of the great butterfly candy, butterfly bushes. We're going to use Little Grape because it is a dark purple. We've already had monarchs on them in the greenhouse, so we're going to use those in here as well. So, okay, just to give you a perspective, this is the cottage garden that we're talking about. So between the two walls. So we have 2 beds here. I say they're sisters, they are not identical twins. So they have a lot of the same plants repeated in them, but they are 2 different beds. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the non-flowering annuals, for sure. Those are definitely coming out. So like, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this massive, beautiful beast of a purple fountain grass. Y'all, it must be like right on the drip line because I have never seen a purple fountain grass get this massive at the end of the season. And so it is huge. I think it's taken all of the water actually from Princess Anne, because Princess Anne is on the struggle bus. So the purple fountain grasses are going to be coming out. I may go ahead and take out the cleome because I have not noticed any of the pollinators on that right now, but what I am leaving will be like my lantana, because the butterflies are loving it. Most likely will leave the agasaki, the zinnias I will leave. Also, as an FYI, this is not a dwarf zinnia. Not sure what packet of seeds I got. I love them, they're gorgeous, but they are not dwarf whatsoever. And they're beautiful, healthy plants. But I did not plan on planting a full-size zinnia at the very front of my garden. It was supposed to be one of these little tiny petite zinnias. So just as a side note, she's gonna stay, and so we're gonna leave those things. Obviously, I am leaving my milkweed because I have got monarch butterfly caterpillars on that. Very exciting. So what we're going to do is take out the annuals that are not flowering, the grasses. Then I've got some coleus down here because we have got to make room for all of these beautiful perennials. So we're going to run through them right quick. So we've got the butterfly candy. This is Little Grape. There's 5 in this series, and they are going to be between 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. They smell divine, absolutely delicious. And when we had these in the greenhouse, we actually even had monarchs on the little grapes in the greenhouse. These are going to be hardy in zones, I think 5 to 10. Definitely the full sun, of course. And so we have those. We have these available on the website as quartz as a pre-order. They're going to be ready in about 3 to 5 weeks. So if you're interested, you could head over there. We've got all the colors. Then we're going to add some more of the bejeweled penstemons. I've got both the varieties, the pink pearls and the rose rhinestones. Have this in the garden already, and they are going to be an early spring bloomer, and so that's going to help support my butterflies in the early spring. I was knocked out with how well these performed this year, right? They were gorgeous. I found that, I think it's the pink pearls because it's a little bit of a lighter color. It bloomed first and then the rose rhinestones did. So it kind of gives you that nice succession of planting, but they're stunning. So we're gonna add some more of those in here as well. So we've got the pink pearls here, the rose rhinestones here. We're going to add in coreopsis. I love coreopsis. Coreopsis is one of those rare perennials that is a non-stop bloomer. So this is the designer threads. This is heartstrings. And I went with heartstrings because of the color palette. It has that nice kind of that reddish pinky kind of ombre look with those white edges, 18 to 20 inches tall. Great perennial. It's called the heartstrings because it has in the designer threads because they are a thread leaf coreopsis. So I have got 6 of those that are going to go in. Then y'all, they're pitiful, but it's okay. We're going to give them a chance. This is the bit of honey. This is going to be that heliopsis, right? So heliopsis is a great perennial. It's nonstop bloomer as well. These were up on the production pad and I think they were getting overwatered. So that is why they look rough. I know they do. It's all right. We're planting them now so that they can flush out. They've got lots of new growth down here at the bottom. They'll be fine. It'll be okay. Then we've got to add 2 host plants that Mimi gave me. So I have Rue, and she assures me, she said, Jenny, I know it's small and it's pitiful, but it works. And so she picked these up at a local hardware store. So Rue is going to be a host plant for your swallowtails. Stays nice and petite, so we're going to add that over there where the zinnias and the milkweed is. And then she got me some golden Alexanders. This is from the Joyful Butterfly, which is an online store nursery that you can order from. Obviously, Joyful Butterfly, she does a ton of plants that support those butterflies. And so the golden anniversary Alexanders is going to be the host plant for the black swallowtail and the Ozark swallowtail, and then nectar for others. Obviously full sun, and this is going to be hardy in zones of 4 to 9, 18 to 30 inches tall. So we're going to add the golden Alexanders in there as well. You got to have some flocks in those early, again, the early round of butterflies. So we've got 2. We've got prismatic pink. This is the luminary series. They're going to be about not quite 3 feet tall, really beautiful bright pink. So that's a prismatic pink. And then for a deeper, more ultraviolet pink, we've got pink lightning. So we've got 4 of those, really vibrant. This is gonna be a little bit taller, 36 inches, and these are hardy in zones 3 to 8. So we're going to do those, and then grasses. I love grasses. So while we're taking out the annual grasses, we're putting in perennial grasses. And this is Cheyenne Sky. I love Cheyenne Sky. It's a bit more of a petite one, about 3 feet tall. You can see that it's starting to turn and take on those reddish purple hues to it. This is going to be a fantastic one for us because it is a panicum, and panicums do really well here for my zone, and they're going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9. I actually already have some of the Cheyenne Sky. They're getting a little covered up, but they're in there. So we're going to continue that because we've got 3, I believe, up here. So we'll continue those down. I've got 6. We'll see if I use all 6 or not. But first, what we're going to do is take out the annuals that need to come out, make some room, let my brain think. Oh, I forgot one. Let my brain think and start thinking about placement. And then once I get that stuff done, I'll meet you back here. But let me show you one more thing I forgot to tell you. The clematis, the Stand By Me pink. Y'all, I love this. This is such the sweetest little clematis. It is a bush clematis, about 3 feet tall. It is not a climber, okay? So it is a bush one. It is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 7. Now you might say, well, Jenny, you're in a zone 8. Why in the world are you doing for a zone 7? because I have tested this and it does really well in our zone 8A. So this is one where you just have to kind of play with it and be a student of your own garden. So we're going to put the Stand By Me, because it does need support, I have learned. We're going to put Stand By Me pink here at the base of the birdhouse, and I've got supports for it. So I just got to figure out exactly where I want to put it so it has plenty of room to grow and be happy, because the only one that stand, of course, is the Firelight Tidbit. The Coleus is coming out today. I really don't want to take out the Lantana or the Salvia, so I might stick it here on this corner right to the left of the birdhouse and let it go there. So anyway, I'm going to rip out. If I find any weeds, I'll do that and start placing plants, and then I'll meet you back here in a little bit. My friends, so just went ahead and got everybody planted. You know, once you start working, it's just kind of hard to stop sometimes. So we did a lot of work, and so let's talk about it, and let's talk about where the plants went and why I did what I did, and talk about future and all the things, right? So let's just get excited about this beautiful cottage garden and dream of what it's going to be this time next year and in the spring and all the time to come forward. So Jerry is watering. I did go ahead and turn the irrigation system on. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, so they desperately need some water. I think the best way to show you the bed is just start on one end, and we're going to work our way to the other end, because that'll make maybe the most flow sense. So, alrighty, here we go. As a side note, I love these little dwarf zinnias. That's what all the zinnias were supposed to be, nice and petite and dwarf. I just direct sowed my zinnias. Obviously, this one did really well. I'm trying to remember if it was like Magellan series, the Zowies. I'll figure it out and let you know. But I love how nice and short and petite they are. Obviously, they're a little, you know, boisterous and a little vigorous, but that's all right. So what we did is with the little grapes, we kind of actually put them more towards the front. And y'all, I literally put the pot in the spot in the garden, and the butterflies were all over it. I have at least 3 different varieties of butterflies on this one. I know I've got a swallowtail. I'm sorry, I don't know my other ones. So there's like some little ones and everything. So my gosh, they love this butterfly bush for sure. And then if you can see the little guy right there, that is the rue. So that'll be a great perennial for me for my swallowtails. And then kind of tucked back here, that is the King Alexanders. So that is up there as well. Now, keep in mind, those are perennials. This was supposed to be the dwarf zinnia. I think it's Benary's Giant, which is great. I love Benary's Giant. They are fantastic, beautiful zinnias that the butterflies love. They're great for cut flowers, and the foliage is beautiful. However, like I said earlier, if I had known that it was going to be the 3.5 foot tall one, it would not have gone in the very front of the bed. But there you go, picture perfect. There is that yellow swallowtail. It was supposed to be the yellow version of this, so you can see. There you go. So my point in saying that is that the King Alexanders, whatever it is, will be just fine because it gets that, maybe about 2 feet tall. So it'll be good. And then coming on down, everything here was pretty much the same. We added in one of the Cheyenne Skies here. And remember, the lantana will not be there next year because I know when you look at it like this, you really can't even see the grass. One, the grass is going to be taller. Two, the lantana is not going to be there. And I didn't put it closer to the baptisia because I've already had to prune on this baptisia twice this year because it's been so vigorous. And right here where this hole is there's a ton of gravel from the construction, whereas right here it has more soil and it's right on a drip line. So I promise long term this will look more cohesive. I know when you look at it you think I should have brought it over to the right, but trust me, I can't. The left is the good spot for it for sure. And then down here in the front, we put the Coreopsis, the designer thread heartstrings, put 3 of them right there together. Basically, they're gonna grow together and be a mass. And I can guarantee you that they're probably gonna start flowering this year because 2 of them already have some buds on it. It's gonna be really sweet. I love Coreopsis because it is a continuous bloomer as a perennial, which is lovely. Then up here behind the Nepeta, we have the rose rhinestones penstemon. I already had 1, so I added 3. So again, that'll be a nice big clump there. That'll be an earlier bloomer, really hot, vibrant pink. Then we have the luminary phlox is back here. So it's gonna be kind of a pink display back here, but they're gonna bloom at different times. So all of that will work out just fine. And Apache rose, Cheyenne Sky. See, I do this all the time, y'all. It gets to be the end of the day and I have all these like plant names rolling around in my brain. Cheyenne Sky. All of these grasses are Cheyenne Sky. Apache rose is a great one, but it gets bigger. These are all Cheyenne Sky, a little bit shorter. So there we go. And again, y'all, I know Princess Anne, she looks awful. I know she does, but I think the grass was really severely messing with her and she's fine. She'll go to sleep this winter and she'll wake up and she'll be beautiful. So it's fine. I'm not worried about that. Then 2 of the bit of honey right here. We will see. And again, look, that little grape, and you've got that yellow swallowtail just having a feast and having the best time on that buddleia. I love it. Scared her off. Okay, now coming back. We have the, I put 5 of the pink pearls penstemons right here. So I put 5 of them there because on the opposite side of the steps, I had 4 and I added 1 more. So I have 5 there. So when you look at the steps, when they're blooming, they'll both be blooming and it'll be the same flower at the same time. So there you go. Coreopsis here behind the holly, left that. The 2 rose rhinestones are here. Bit of honey, Stand By Me pink clematis has, it'll go up against the birdhouse. Got to have a cute little stake right there because it does need some support. So we've got that. We've got another of the luminary phlox, Cheyenne Sky, little grape, and also the like the hummingbird moth. The hummingbird moths are loving it as well. So lots of pollinators, the bumblebees, everybody is loving this little grape. And then I think last but not least, we had 2 more of the phloxes. So there's 2 of them, but those are the same phlox together. So again, just envisioning long term that this is going to give me lots of throughout the growing season. So between early spring and late fall, we will have flowers here to support the pollinators, the butterflies, and then of course with the evergreens in here, we will have year-round interest as well. Like the grasses, I typically leave my grasses up, the perennial grasses. They'll turn brown, but I leave them up, and I don't cut them until maybe mid-February or until they start like shedding crazy, but typically like mid-February, and then I will cut them. But yeah, super excited. The firelight tidbits, I mean, are they not looking so wonderful? So the firelight tidbits, I've got one in this bed and one in the other bed, but yeah, they are turning pink for me, which is lovely. I did have a couple of the blooms that had turned just like plain like black brown. I cut those off, but this is why I love tidbit. And this is the hydrangea that we're putting in front of the house in mass with that new landscape renovation we're doing. So just imagine these in mass. Will it not be so pretty? I love it. Absolutely fantastic. So I did have to pull out some of the lantana, some of the zinnias I pulled out. I made a bouquet of the zinnias that I pulled out, but I just had to make some room for these perennials in here. And trust me, there's tons enough for these guys to enjoy. So anyway, super excited about this. So again, fall is the time, y'all. The reason that, like, I especially wanted to get the butterfly bushes and the grasses in the ground is because they like to transition when it's a bit warmer. So hydrangeas, like, you can literally plant a hydrangea when it's completely defoliated, when it's cold outside, like a hosta, a fern. Man, you can plant those like when you're wearing your bundled up, your cold winter clothes, right? Certain plants still like to have those warmer temperatures, like the grass, the butterfly bushes, because they do most of their active growing in the heat. So I really want to make sure that their roots get really well established before the cold of the winter hits. So that's why on some of these annuals, I was like, you have to come out because I need to get these perennials in so that they can get really well established. So that's why I did what I did. And if anybody even wants to even think about commenting about those purple fountain grasses and how I should have saved them, or I could have transplanted them somewhere else, or leave them, they may come back. No, they won't. They will not. They're annuals. We treat them as annuals. They gave me joy. They're done. They're going back to the earth. They're returning to the earth. It's okay. I promise. For everything there is a season. That was the season for those those purple fountain grasses, and off they go. So anyway, we will see. If you have found this fun, informative, inspirational, we'd love it if you would like and subscribe. As always, we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.